Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Hayes Justin, and so let's go ahead and talk about something that I've been thinking. Black and White are going to release, it's going to release in a couple weeks, right? And the biggest news that came out of that is all their cards, all the Pokemon's going to get an illustration rare. If that trend continues, I do believe that we will have the possibility of building a full art national Pokédex, right? And it's kind of already something that I'm already working on. That was like my biggest goal. I didn't know if it was going to be achievable, but now I feel pretty confident that it is. On top of that, there's also been a big blow up on Sword and Shield era cards and booster boxes. But my thing is, if you're brand new into collecting, I wouldn't really be focusing so much right now with the Scarlet and Violet era because of the sheer amount of production of these cards have endured, and they're going to still endure. I mean, we're talking about there's going to be a lot of reprints in the future. I'm almost positive too. So the population of these cards are going to be wild. So I do believe that like full art or illustration rares from older sets, Sword and Shield and Sun and Moon, are going to become a little bit more valuable. And that's actually what the video is all about. I'm going to go ahead and talk about a couple of the cards to kind of emphasize my point. And the reason why is because these low population cards, whether they're graded, right? I like just Japanese graded. Whether they're graded, they have low populations. They're pretty cheap right now. So it's something that you might want to jump on if you want to kind of like maybe beat them to the punch, right? So we're going to go ahead and get it started, right? So starting off with 2018 from Sun and Moon, Forbidden Light, we're going to be talking about Greninja. So Greninja has multiple, and we're talking about multiple illustration rares or full arts, art rares, if you will, in Japanese. And honestly, makes sense since it's a very popular Pokemon. A lot of people consider that like the new Charizard. But from this card, population wise, for the graded, there's only total of 65 copies of this card graded. Whenever we're looking at this card is right now listed at eBay for $24, and the Japanese raw goes for $4.99. So it's not a huge price on this one for the sheer fact that I believe there's so many more different illustration rares or art rares. And honestly, some of the new modern ones, like the box art ones, have been fantastic. So Green Ninja might not be the best example, but we're talking about there's only 65 graded copies on there. So if you want to grade this one, if you have it, you might want to pick it raw. Now, the next card we're going to be talking about, we got a 2018 from Sun and Moon Super Burst Impact Tyranitar. This card is relisted right now on eBay's PSA Vault for $24.99. Total population of this card graded, we got around 231 copies. In the Japanese, the raw card goes for $14.99. So if you buy this card and you just hold it, right? It's gonna be $25. I don't know. I'm not sure. Sorry, I wasn't making sure or paying attention if this one has the best offer. But even if you buy it now and you hold on it for a couple of years, at $14.99, if the raw copy is going for that, I mean it's a PSA now, but you can go ahead and crack it, and you have a $14.99 copy. You know that it's a nine. You might want to regrade it if you get it and you inspect it, but at least you know that it's a pretty, with time it should be a pretty good investment. So Tyranitar, popular Pokemon. Art in this one is fairly good. I do like the color scheme. It's very simplistic. I do believe that the Scarlet and Violet Tyranitars are better. Even the Sword and Shield, the Sleepy Tar. But honestly, this one kind of plays off to like Tyranitar's nature. Now, the next card that we got a 2019 Sun and Moon Tag Team All Stars. We got a Jirachi GX. It's interesting that this one came out in Tag Team All Stars, but it's just a solo card. Regardless, you can find this card on eBay's PSA Vault for around $24. There's only 790 copies that are graded, and the Japanese raw value of this card goes for around $12. So once again, I mean, you're buying this card, you're buying a pretty decent, valuable card, and someone already else has already paid for like the submission fee. So it's not a bad idea picking this card up. Overall, not a big fan of it, but like I'm just kind of trying to illustrate my point. that these old Sun and Moon cards have some pretty decent value on them when we're talking about the raw cards. So it's kind of like a long-term play if you want to think about it like that. Now, the next card that we got a Sun and Moon Tag Bolt, Celebi, and Venusaur. And this is just the regular one. We're not talking about the illustration, the alt rare. But this card goes for eBay for around $25. And this one's a little bit more graded, and that has to do probably because it has Celebi and Venusaur. And Venusaur is a fan favorite, a Gen 1 tax, if you will. But we got around 1,220 copies of this card. Now, the raw value of this card, we're looking at around $14 as well. So once again, you buy the card and you buy this slab, and half the value is going to be on the card itself, regardless of the grade. So it could be an interesting pickup if you're trying to invest in the future and hold it for years to come. And whenever I'm talking about this, you guys gotta understand, I'm talking about long term. So if you're into the hobby and you want to do it for like long time and go as cheap as possible, consider looking at eights or nines. And later, if the value keeps going up on these cards, you crack them, you sell them raw. It's not like you never lost anything. Especially in a slab, you just have a better protection from all the weather, from kids, from friends, from whatever possibility. You're basically protecting it a little bit better, and to me, I just rather have them looking like this now, or like that. Bop, bop, bop. Now, for the last card that we're going to go ahead and talk about, is going to be a 2019 Sun and Moon from Alter Genesis. Now, this one's going to be three Pokemon in one card, and we're talking about Arceus, Palkia, and Dialga. The card can be found in eBay's PSA Vault for around $25. The total population of this card is around 630. 630. So there's that many graded copies out in circulation. So it's still kind of like not too, you don't see them very often. And I wonder if you guys have ever seen this card in card shows. But regardless, now, the raw value of this card is going for around $18.60. So more than the value of this card is on the raw. It's on the raw side. So once again, it's kind of like that what I'm talking about. If you're buying these slabs, you're holding them for the long term. The cards keep appreciating in value. You crack it later, you sell it, you're probably going to end up making your money. It's not a guaranteed, but most likely, especially considering the fact that some of these cards are already 7 years old, and that's insane to think about. And it's like I didn't know full arts were like have been around for that long. Honestly, full arts now have gotten better, and Scarlet and Violet are going to go as one of the best eras when it comes to full arts. But you know what? You gotta appreciate the art on the Sun and Moon era. But that's kind of like my biggest point, right? If you're looking to be in this game and the hobby for the long term, you should be considering and looking into older cards. Don't go what everyone's doing and buying the new ones, especially right now that GameStop is grading PSA slabs. People are just grading a lot more. You should probably be looking at some of the more harder to find cards that are a little bit older, probably not preserved as much. And even if they're eights or nines, you might get lucky and find a 10 here and there. Those are probably going to have a little bit more value due to the population. I feel like right now it's a weird time in Pokemon because population doesn't matter, but it should matter. Especially if there's a rare card, it should matter more and should have a little bit more value. But honestly, that would be my move. I would be buying more of like the Sun and Moon era, more of the Sword and Shield era for the collection. But honestly, I've been finding a lot of these PSA slabs for the Scarlet and Violet series around $10. So that's why I keep ordering those. But nonetheless, even at work right now, we're gambling slabs. We roll dice. Everyone who wants to play brings in a slab. We roll dice. The one who gets the higher number wins all the cards. Honestly, gets fun because it's a bunch of just like 30-year-olds kind of reliving the heydays. And the ones that we're gambling are honestly from the Sun and Moon era, from the Sword and Shield, just because I guess we kind of connect more to those than the Scarlet and Violet. I'm big into Scarlet and Violet, but these guys, the new collectors or collectors who kind of getting back into it, they appreciate some of the older stuff. So keep that in mind. Outside from that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. You guys, if you guys have any questions or any comments about these cards, go ahead and drop them there. Outside from that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Y'all will take care. Peace.